I have a red and yellow spring on my reformer. I'm placing my foot down from the bolt of the foot bar, and I've externally rotated my thigh and placed my foot at the base of the shoulder block turned out. I've squared my hips, lengthened my spine, and tipped my torso forward to isolate that leg and the glute to press out, assisted by the hamstrings. I find this is a really nice target for the backside, and I had a short amount of time today to fire up these larger muscles. So I'm holding myself stable, exhaling to press out and breathing in to bring the knee under, and then coming into a set of lunges where my front quad is contracting in a lengthened way on the way down and contracting in a shortening way on the way up. So I've conditioned my glutes, my hamstrings, and my quads with this move. Careful to maintain neutral spine. And then I'm moving across my reformer. Working in the round today, I'll go into some plank to pike, heels to the center of the shoulder blocks, and I'm sending lots of driving energy out through those heels, and then lengthening my neck out and away and over the foot bar. Breathing in, I turn the bottom two ribs under and pike the tail to the sky, chest low, and then exhale, coming out, and I'm really lengthening my body, and I'm really pressing down through my arms. So progressing slightly here with one leg coming away to aim at lifting the heel, the hip and the head into one straight line, and then coming into the pike, trying my very best to keep my hips stable. So exhale. We'll come in for the last pike before swapping out the heels and finding the other foot. So trying to line up those hip cogs, back of the head and pelvis, and heel. A little bit of a challenge on this side for me, might have been rushing. I have an open collarbone to really help that torso be stable in the front body, and allows me to curl the bottom two ribs under and pike the tail up. I have a sense of control with the head, pelvis and heel, trying to stay on one straight line. And then of course we'll come down and set up for our scooters and lunge here. It's an external rotation of the thigh bone. Find the hips level, and ears, shoulders, hips stack before tipping the torso forward, and finding that turn out of the thigh. The front thigh is normal, and you can feel the glute really squeeze with this turned out foot. And having hands on hips I like, because it gives feedback of what's happening in the bony landmarks of the pelvis. Is there twisting? Is there hiking? Do the best to just feel it out. I know looking at this, I might want to go in and correct myself. Breathe out and press, breath in. Lots of stabilization of the torso going on as I'm really looking to keep that spine neutral and then come into the lunge. So the knee is staying over the ankle in the front part there. The tail is tucked, the ears reaching away. I probably could be looking up just a wee bit more and opening that front neck up. I'm pushing the floor away with my foot on the floor, as well as pushing the reform away behind me. Breathe in and out. Let's switch out that red and yellow spring to a yellow spring to the top spring dog on my reformer. That's actually a nice resistance to press against, but it's not impinging for my shoulder. I can allow these layers here to be of beautiful effect and not be swinging. I can feel my form. So let's go into a Z-sit and draw a sword. So hip, shoulder, and then hinge at the elbow to draw that sword out of the hip sheath. And we're using the back muscles. Ears over shoulders, shoulders over hips. There's a real upliftedness here, and in your mind and in the structure of your setup, you're looking to have your hips stable, your collarbone broad, and then we'll change that draw a sword into, it's almost like a tricep extension, but you've a slight flexion of the spine as you move in that plane, that same plane, a side bend over toward the shoulder block, and then exhale, arm extends up. So triceps, working shoulders, breathing out to extend, and inhale to bend over. Quickly then moving into some rotations where we inhale to the shoulder block and then exhale, turning from the belly button, that super tall spine, still really looking for upliftedness. Breath in, shoulder blocks, and then exhale to the foot bar with the belly button, ears reaching for the sky, chest slightly in front of the hips as you stop on that angle and go into a hugger tree where you are angled almost toward the corner of the room. And so breathing in and out to hug the tree 6 times, and then staying on that angle to allow the fingers to come into a diamond and salute or shave on that angle. So lots of stabilization of the torso, and then we press that salute right up, then really open up the throat and chest, elongating the spine and thoracic up to the sky as you open the arms, and then energy from way under the armpits presses back up to the salute and back down. There's a lot going on there. I think you really definitely need to be a regular Pilates reformer, mover, to know how to stabilize the torso and move through an off-center hugger tree shave. So I'll work in the round here and go into abdominals. So I've popped that red spring back on and I'm lying down, looking to be slightly shuffled down from the shoulder block, so when I come up to my chest lift, I don't get caught on the shoulder blocks. So legs all the way out and over. I've popped that foot bar down, and then I'm lifting the legs like in a rollover, feeling full stretch as I exhale and chest curl up. So I'm looking to elongate the spine up and over my belly and pressing against the straps. So head, trunk press with the straps, and legs lengthen up and out of sockets, almost teaser-like. And then we'll go into scissors. So inhale, scissor down, exhale, lift it. Bottom 2 ribs turn down, lots of energy through the straps, and still really trying to lift that rib cage up. And we'll finish it there. It is an express total body workout, and then we will have that arm come across us like a seatbelt, shuffle the hips out from underneath us, and bring that shoulder up like getting out of bed. It's just a nice way to just pop that yellow spring back on the top spring dock, come into the Z sit on this side. So stack the spine, Level out the hips, internal rotation of that thigh bone. Find the collarbone open and the chest slightly in front of the hips. Ears fully reaching to the sky throughout. Breathe in and exhale, hip, shoulder out. Lats are working, rhomboids. Beautiful deltoid helps, as well as neck extensors. Lots of stabilization of the torso. And I'm not slumped down in my hips. There's an upliftedness and a checking in constantly with my skeleton and my hips. Breathe in and allow that side bend to begin as you exhale, and tricep extension up. It's kind of like a draw a sword variation progression, and belly button is really Pilates scooping back to the spine. There's just so much extension going on in my middle body. But notice how my shoulders don't creep up around my ears to do that. It comes from the center, this movement. So we'll come into the rotations. So sternum, hands, breathe into the shoulder blocks, eyes follow. And we're turning from the belly button as we go to the corner of the room. Inhale, shoulder blocks. Exhale, corner of the room. And that just means you're not twisting too far to be impinging on your lower back. But here we're really looking to have the extensors of the lower back assist the obliques in staying tall, as on that angle we hug the tree, breathe in and out. Basically, repetitions wise, I've gone for about 6 to 8. I'm not counting, I'm rushing. I need to get to school pickup. So I'm doing 15 minutes of really concentrated express reformer work. And then lots of energy of all of the chest and triceps pushing up and out. Shoulder blades kind of following the pinky fingers here. Breathe in and out. Lots of back connection as you open up the thoracic to the sky and open out the hands, squeeze the shoulder blades together, breathe in and exhale, really drawing the belly button back to the spine, reaching the ears to bring the hands down, and you're done. Thanks for joining me. I hope you got where you needed to go today and not missed your workout.